Hey, what's going on, guys? It's my weekly college pick'em time. Every Friday or maybe Thursday, I get on here and make a vid and pick some college games. Like I've said on my app on my phone, I can select games I want alerts from, and these are the games. There's 6 of them this week, so let's get into it. Oh, and shout out to Birdman, fellow coffee addict. Cheers to you, bud, and good luck in your coffee cup bet with Clemson owns. Oregon State Stanford. This is a big game for the Pac-12. Can Oregon State remain undefeated for Oregon? Please, yes. That's going to be a big matchup. Stanford, without their starting quarterback Nunez, the freshman coming in and starting now, I think even though they're at home, I think Oregon State's defense will be able to shut down the run enough because you know that's all they're going to do anyway is ground and pound you. I think they're going to be able to shut down the run enough to make the quarterback make plays, and I just don't have faith in him that he will. So I'm going to pick Oregon State to win this one. And then Arizona State at USC. This is kind of, does the USC offense that played against the Ducks show up, or does the USC offense that played against Stanford show up? That's going to be the big test for the Trojans. You all have probably heard of Deflategate by now. Student manager at USC deflated balls below the regulation of the NCAA after the referees had inspected them, and this thus makes them easier to catch, not necessarily easier to throw, but with a quarterback like Matt Barkley, I don't think it makes much of a difference. So, whatever, you can interpret that any way you want to. We still won the game, whoop-de-doo. Arizona State, I don't think their defense is all that strong. Their offense might be able to score with USC, maybe, unless their defense comes out and is inspired and plays better than they played against us. So we'll see. I'm still going to pick the Trojans at home, though. I think they're determined, and I think they're going to win out. And that game against Notre Dame could go either way. So I think they win out until that game, and then we'll just have to wait and see how they're playing. Texas A&M at Alabama. This is one of the big matchups in the SEC this week. Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel with the Doug Flutie type of play. Can he go on the road in Bryant-Denny and get the big win on that vaunted defense who didn't play their best game last week against LSU? Can Alabama shore up the mistakes? That's going to be the question marks in this game. But the big question mark for me is A&M's defense. Can they get enough stops for their offense to have a chance? Because Alabama, they're a juggernaut. They might not look like it, but they are. I think that's one difference from this Alabama team from last year is they can score just as fast as pretty much anybody in the country. Maybe not as fast as us, but they can still score fast. They still got speed. For Alabama, they got speed. And I think that's one big difference from them from last year's team. I didn't think last year's team could do that. So that's going to be Texas A&M's defense, and I don't have faith in their defense. I don't think it's a true SEC defense just yet. Give them time to recruit. They might be there. So I'm going to have Alabama winning this close one at home. Penn State at Nebraska, not necessarily a big game nationally, but it's a big game if in Penn State's eyes, of course, because it's the whole scandal and all that stuff. They're still 6-3, guys. How many people would have predicted a 6-3 Penn State team going into this week? I wouldn't have. Nebraska 7-2 front runners to go to the Rose Bowl from the Big Ten. If they win out, this is a big question mark. Can Martinez cut down on turnovers, mistakes? That's been one knock on him, I should say, from his entire career. Just been able to keep the mistakes down, and you can win ball games with him. Penn State's D has been playing inspired, of course. The linebacker, Monty, I think his name is, or something like that. I don't know. He's pretty good. Can the quarterback, his name escapes me, but McGloin, that's it. McGloin, can he make plays? But I'm still going to pick Nebraska to win this ball game at home. I think the crowd's going to be into it. They got a big stadium in there, so Nebraska wins this one. Close one, though. Maybe a touchdown. K-State at TCU. This is all dependent on if Colin Klein can play with that head injury. I thought it would be the wrist that would keep him out, but now it's more of the head injury that he suffered on that touchdown drive, or touchdown run, I should say. So can he play? And from what I'm hearing, he's going to play. How effective he will be is the true question mark. TCU's defense playing inspired ball. I think they can stop Kansas State a few times. And now their offense, can they score? They put up 39 on West Virginia last week. You know what? I'm gonna pick upset here. I'm gonna go with TCU to win this ball game. I think the head injury from Colin Klein, if it's as serious as they say, he's still questionable, I believe, and it's Friday. I believe his status has not changed. As of Wednesday, he was questionable, so I don't believe his status has changed. So if it's still Friday and you're questionable Saturday, you're going to be a game time decision. So I'm guessing he's not going to be 100% effective, and I think TCU with that has just enough to upset K-State. Then the last game, Mississippi State at LSU. LSU, can they rebound from the disappointing, crushing loss on the or at home against Alabama? And Mississippi State, they're, I believe, only have 2 losses. They're probably 7-2, I believe, on the year. So can they make a statement this year? This would be a huge win for their program and really vault them up into relevancy. And I believe they're just out of the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't have a chance to check the rankings on my phone before I made this video, but I believe they're right close to the top 10. So this would vault them up probably into the top 10 if they beat LSU. And I don't think Mettenberger can have the game he had against Alabama 2 weeks in a row. Granted, Mississippi State's defense is not Bama's defense, but he played out of his skull against Alabama, and he needed to, and he did. Props to Mettenberger. But I don't think he does it 2 weeks in a row. I think the run game is there for LSU, but that's one-dimensional. I think Mississippi State can hone in on that. Even though you're on the road in Death Valley, I know they're a young football team, but again, I'm going to go with Mississippi State in this one. I have a feeling that they can go in there and do it. I don't know why. It's just something I think that they can do it. But it's going to be very, very close. Very close. Maybe a field goal late to win this ball game, but I have a feeling Mississippi State can pull it off. Anyway, that's it for me. Getting ready to watch, just getting pumped to watch the Ducks play. I'm excited. I don't expect too much to really happen. I mean, we're going to win, but if Alabama goes down and K-State goes down, which is 2 very foreseeable outcomes, Oregon is the new number 1. That'd be terrific. That'd make my weekend a whole lot better. So anyway, go Ducks.